Hello, welcome back to another video. Anime Dion here. We are doing What If Deku Was Like Spider-Man Part 3. We last left off at the end of the building lesson where they had to where Izuku went against Ida and Bakugo. Izuku and Ochako went against Ida and Bakugo, but instead of Izuku and MJ going against Ida and Bakugo. Just like that, when they were inside the building, we had to touch the bomb and in order to win. It ended up being Izuku and MJ winning by a long shot, and they also won without any major damages to the building. So they did give very good credit for that, especially MJ for guarding that entire explosion just with one tech use. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, MJ and Izuku are doing great, as you can see. So yeah, let's get back into the video. After that long day of school, some of the kids at school decided to hang out. Those kids turn out to be Kirishima, Mina, Deku, and Deku, MJ, and Bakugo. Kirishima, Mina, Deku, MJ, and Bakugo decide to go out to eat. You know what I'm saying? They don't go, well, not just to eat. No, not to eat, to the movies. My bad. They go out to the movies, spend some time together, get to know each other. Kirishima and Mina have been knowing each other since middle school, of course. If you guys don't know that, you should go check out the show, because in the show it explains that they've known each other since middle school. So yeah, go check that out. And also, what's it called? Kirishima and Mina have started taking a liking for each other in this what if. So yeah, that's also another ship in this what if is Kirishima and Mina. They get together. So yeah. Deku and MJ get on a date. Bakugo's there just to, chill out and watch a movie, because it's actually one of his favorite movies. It's Death Explorers 3, or whatever I'm going to call it. I'm just going to call it Death Explorers 3. Basically a movie where these heroes die, and they have to find their way back to life. And there's lots of blood in it, so that's why Bakugo likes it. So, yeah. Let's get back into the video. My bad. Well, we were in a video, but whatever. So yeah, Kirishima and Mina basically take this date. Well, it's not really. Yeah, it's kind of a double date, pretty much, including Bakugo. There. Bakugo's not really there to focus on there. He's just there because it was basically him able to watch one of his favorite movies that he doesn't have to pay for. Basically, Deku paid for him, pretty much. Deku paid for Bakugo and MJ. So he basically broke, you know what I'm saying? He broke. Until at one moment, Deku gets on a watch that he made just to notify that there's danger around the city. And he notices that there's a danger going on at like the the local bank. Izuku tells MJ, he says, "Well, I'm gonna be back. I need to go use the restroom." He gives her a kiss on the cheek and he leaves. MJ was like, "Kiss on the cheek just to go to the bathroom? That's a little weird." MJ's smart, so she knows how to figure stuff out easily and quickly. He says he must not be going to the bathroom. If he's not back in 5 minutes, I'll go check on him. MJ says. Izuku grabs his backpack also when he goes to the bathroom. She also noticed that, so there's definitely something fishy going on. Izuku puts on a suit that he made himself. One of the suit that he wore in the entrance exam, so it doesn't have those extra arms, the extra legs and the extra metal strength, so it's really just a regular suit. The only thing about it is that it has web slingers and Izuku's powers alone. Izuku's slinging through the city like normal, trying to stay away from any cameras in the city or anybody noticing him. He gets to the bank and he instantly runs through the doors. He sees that this man's holding people hostage. Izuku then webs up the dudes in the thing and makes sure everybody's safe. Everybody's safe. He unties everybody. But before he can get out of the thing, somebody inside of a vulture suit comes out. It's like a bird suit, grabs Izuku from the top. Izuku is a bit better than the beginning Spider-Man, because if you guys know, I think Vulture was the first villain for Spider-Man. I think so. And if you guys know, in this one, Izuku's better than Spider-Man at the beginning. Beginning Spider-Man, he wasn't super good at, his job. But Izuku's better than he is at now. So, yeah. Izuku jumps forward and what's it called? Izuku jumps forward. Well, he's basically caught on by Vulture. He uses the force of like swinging to swing backwards, swing back and do a front flip, and he gets on top and he lands on top of the Vulture. He uses this moment to tie Vulture's wings together, and they're basically falling down. He slings a web onto Vulture and swings a web on the top of a building. This this webbing, it basically he ties Vulture up to like the wall of the bank, so like he can't get out. And by now the cops are starting to arrive as you hit the sirens. Izuku then gets as fast as he can back to the movie theater. It's been about more than 5 minutes, about 6, and on his way, about 7 minutes. So on his way back, he sees MJ on his way. He stops and he takes off his clothes and puts it back in her bag. He's like, "Oh, hey MJ," he says. "You bailed. Where did you go?" And she slaps him. He says, I went to go help people out. Izuku says. She says, "I know. But next time, don't do something so stupid. Besides, you could let me know next time, because just trust me, I'm a much better planner than you think." And she slaps him one more time. But as she slaps him, she stops for a bit and is giving him a hug. And she says, "I was a little worried because you're kind of stupid." She says, Izuku's like, "Wow, makes me feel so much better." And they walk back into the movies. Well, they swing back on Deku. And that frightened MJ very much. Kind of like how, it scared MJ a lot at the end of Spider-Man at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home. If you guys watched that movie, you should go check it out. So, yeah. They get into the movie theaters and they finish up the movie. After that, they walk home. They get ready for the rest of the week of school and the field trip, and the up-and-coming field trip to what's it called? What is it called? What is it called? I forgot what it's called. It's like, I'm trying to think. Well, I'll think about it on the way. So yeah, they get through the week of school, and it's time to go on the field trip to the place. I didn't think about it. I forgot what it is about, but what it's called. I know what it's about, but I forgot what it's called. But yeah, whatever. Let's just call it Universal Studios. I don't know, I'm just kidding. Let's just call it Hero Training Camp, or whatever you could say. So they get to the Hero Training Camp, and once they walk in, they see multiple and obstacle courses and things that you need to overcome as a hero. They said, "Wow." Deku looks at it and says, "What a wonderful place to practice as a hero. There's even water. One of my worst enemies, you could say. And look, it's ice. Fire, not too bad. I think my suit's resistant to that." And yeah, just keep in mind, they all have their suits on. Deku's Iron Spider suit on. It's super sick. He's, Bago was his suit. MJ's kind of like Iron Woman suit. Kind of something like that. It's not Iron Woman. It's just her, her superhero name is MJ alone. So, just keep that in mind. So, yeah. I think it's called, what is it called? It's like J something, whatever. They get to Hero Train, and the teachers start rounding everybody up. But as they try to wind everybody up in different sections that they need to go to, a portal opens. One above the students and one all the way down, and all the way down in the camp, at the end of the camp, at the end of the training camp. And a man walks out. A man with multiple hands, he says. The man says, turns out, he yells, it doesn't yell, he just speaks, and they can hear him pretty much. It's like echoing and stuff. He says, turns out All Might's supposed to be here. Well, supposed to come up. Izuku and MJ says, I knew, my bad. Oh, my bad. Izuku then said in his head, something bad must have happened. No, MJ said, I knew there was something wrong with All Might. I knew his quirk is different than any other kind of quirk ever. Izuku then stands up. He says, what do you want with All Might? He's a great hero. He's not as good as Tony Stark, but he's a great hero, and he's done nothing bad to you guys, to you villains. You guys want to start problems, says Izuku. The man, Shiggy says, as he scratches his neck. He says, I don't have any problem with All Might. The only problem I have is with his power. He goes all high and mighty with a power that shouldn't even be his. He says, oh, I said too much. And just so you know, Shiggy is different in this one. He's kind of a genius, and he has like his own kind of tech. So yeah. He then says, I've said a bit too much. But, well, since All Might's not here yet, he'll be here in a bit, as long as I kill some of these puny kids. He says, I'm coming after you. He tries to fly toward them, but every single kid is separated, except for a few. Bakugo and Shota do not get separated. Those two are just together alone. But on the other hand, Izuku, Tsuyu, and Moneta get separated from MJ, and MJ gets placed in like the fire section with not even the fire section, in the middle where like most of the villains are. Izuku notices that he's trapped with Tsuyu and Moneta in between loads of these villains, you know what I'm saying? Izuku says, hey, this is Eevee. Everybody grab on. He slings up into like what's it called? Up onto the wall and sticks there, and he tells everybody to hang on. He then uses his tech, his suit, and he tells her to activate grenades, web grenades, and he shoots like 10 of the web grenades at the water. Boom! Big explosion at the water, exploding half of the villains there. Izuku says, Tsuyu, you're a frog, right? You think you can fight those villains in the water? She says, yeah, nobody can beat me in the water. She jumps in the water and she starts fighting those villains easily, no difficulty. Izuku looks at Moneta, and Moneta's like crying. He's like, oh my god, we're gonna die. Izuku's all like, Moneta, let's get you back to the land. He gets Moneta back to the land on the high part, safe and near the heroes. Wash. I think that's her name. Yeah, Wash. Or is it like, I forgot. Black Hole, the one with the black hole. Yeah, over there with them. Aizawa's down there fighting in the middle with MJ. MJ's also fighting. Izuku sees MJ get hit pretty badly by some random tech that he's never seen before. Shiggy says, I gave these chumps a bit of my tech little, just to last them about, I could say, 10 minutes, as he scratches his neck. He says, my tech is practically undefeatable. You kids have no chance against it. He then blows it, puts his hand up and just pushes it forward, and MJ is blasted back. Izuku sees this, he's enraged as he sees MJ on the floor, pretty hurt. She's vibrating on the floor, she's shivering on the floor out of pain. So what Izuku does, he jumps forward and he gets in front of MJ. He tells MJ, stay down. I'll handle this. He looks at Shiggy and he jumps up in the air and goes for a kick dead on Shiggy's head. But there seems to be a block, kind of like a force field, one that's not seeable though. Shiggy, instead of just like in the original, he has the same exact thing. It's just there's these metal braces on his there's a metal brace on both of his shoulder. His you could say the top of his on his neck. He has one covering his neck, and he has one going around his body area. And there seems to be none under the There seems to be none under the waist. Izuku sees that out as he's fighting Shiggy, but these force fields seem to be different. Shiggy puts his hand out and pushes straight at Izuku, but Izuku's spidey sense senses something coming near. He closes his eye and he dodges it simply. Izuku says, it says invisible magnetic field blast, huh? I can tell, I can sense it. You're useless against me, Shiggy. I might as well kill you here. He doesn't say kill, because, Deku doesn't kill. He says, I might as well finish you here. He jumps up, and as he's in the air, he uses his web to grab the bottom of Shiggy's feet, where there seems to be no braces at, and it seems to have worked. He slams Shiggy on the ground, but it doesn't really hurt Shiggy much because of the force fields around him. He says, you said that these these other villains only have about 10 minutes left of tech. You may not be able to use them for too long, and it seems that if you do use them constantly, it'd be a waste. So you're not using them 24/7, but you are using them at certain points. So it might catch you off guard enough for you to do so. Izuku then, moving so fast, looks like he's disappeared in the air, appears behind Shiggy and punches him in the back. The blow is successful. He then uses his web to wrap around his leg again and slam him on the floor. It doesn't do damage, but then what he does is he breaks Shiggy's leg. Shiggy's on the floor and in pain. He's like, "Ah!" And then the porter guy shows up. He says, "You messed up this time, kid." The poor guy then gathers Shiggy in a portal, and then All Might finally shows up for this. Besides, Shiggy wasn't the main one. I'll show you who the main bad guy was. A Nomu pops out, brain out, looking kind of like a duck face, you can say. His body's enormous. It's pretty much black skin. The Nomu pops out and he looks at Izuku dead in his face. Shiggy says, "Kill that boy before you get to All Might." The Nomu goes for a punch dead at Izuku's face and lands it perfectly. The punch is so hard Izuku couldn't even so hard and fast. The punch was so hard and fast that Izuku could barely have sensed it, and it hurt so bad Izuku was on the floor for at least 5 seconds. All Might has barely pulled up and goes for a punch to the Nomu's stomach. But the Nomu ignores that punch and goes straight to Izuku. He goes for another blow, but Izuku, using his spider fins, dodges it and moves to the left. He uses a web on his feet, webbings. He uses as much web as possible on the Nomu's feet, and he uses his his extra legs to jab at the Nomu's chest. Izuku, with his kind of big brain, you know what I'm saying? He uses the webs and wraps them behind the Nomu's back. And Nomu's pretty much stuck. He can't move his arms and he can't move his legs, as maybe you thought. All Might says, "Young Midoriya, move!" And he punches the Nomu over and over again, in his stomach, over and over again. But it seems to have done nothing. Shiggy says, "This wasn't meant to defeat you, All Might. We have tech on it too, using the impact of your punches against you. All Might, you're finished." The Nomu tears Izuku's web, and he says, "What? My webbing? There's no way. I may have to use stronger webs, but it's harder to move." Izuku then thinks. He sweeps down through his legs, tying slinging web onto the Nomu's chest. He pulled down as he's swinging through the Nomu's leg, pulling the Nomu down front forward. The top of the Nomu's head hit dead on the ground where the brain is. It's obvious the weak spot. MJ gets up and shoots a energy blast, or a blast, straight at the Nomu's head, killing the Nomu. And you guys may be thinking, "Whoa, is that easy?" MJ says, "You idiots, it was so simple." Well, the only reason why I caught on to that was because of Izuku. "Good job, Izuku." Shiggy laughs. He says, "It was all just to lure you guys in, just to bring out its full strength," he says. "You think I'm stupid enough to make his weak spot stand out just like that?" The Nomu then gets bulkier and bulkier. And this is when All Might steps in again. He punches the stomach of the Nomu everywhere on the Nomu's body, over and over and over and over and over again. But it seems to have done no damage. And then the tech on the Nomu's arms end up to turn purple, light up purple, you know what I'm saying? And the Nomu, yes, this Nomu literally laughs. He says, "You're done." Uses both of your arms to punch All Might with both of your arms at the same time. And just to let you know, it's kind of like Black Panther's suit, where when you punch it more and more, the more you punch it, the more what's it called? The more you punch his suit, the more the more impact that comes back. It gives him strength pretty much. And that's what happened with the Momo because of that tech. And he punches All Might, blasting All Might back, pretty much almost ending All Might. This is when Izuku backs away and backs away a bit and grabs MJ and tells her, sit down. He says, I told you, sit down. You got hurt really badly. MJ says, I can fight my own battles. She jumps into her suit and she puts on her mask over her head. Well, the mask was already over because, they don't want the hero seeing it, And she basically flies up in the air. She blasts whole bunches of blasts at the Nomu, doing pretty much nothing. The Nomu jumps up and goes for a punch straight for MJ. Deku said, I'm not letting that happen. He grabs the arm of the Nomu with a web and slings him all the way back to the ground, slamming the Nomu dead on the ground. Izuku then jumps up and goes for a kick dead at the Nomu's chest and then punches over and over again as much as he can. Izuku remembers, damn, he's stronger now. Boom. The Nomu punches Izuku right with his right fist, empowering with the strength of Deku's punches. So Deku's hit pretty badly. MJ then shouts, Izuku, Shoto, Bakugo, All Might, Aizawa, Sensei, everybody, punch him as much as you can. Any tech with that kind of ability has an overflow. At one point, it would either explode or backfire. So everybody, shoot as much attacks as you can at this guy before he can attack back. Izuku, use your webs to render him weak so he can't really attack back. Izuku's like, right. He pumps up his webs to as strong as possible as they can be and shoots him at the Nomu's hands, putting the Nomu's hands on the ground and his feet, rendering the Nomu pretty much can't move. All Might jumps up, using as much power as possible, punches the Nomu over and 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 over again in his stomach. Bakugo powering as much as explosions as possible, even using his humongous explosion. MJ's blasting bunches of energy blasts as much as he can, and Izuku's using as much punches as possible. MJ says, everybody, use your strongest attack now, and then we will end it. Izuku then, he gets up on a high place as possible, and he puts webs as far as possible onto the ground right by the Nomu. Izuku, Bakugo gets ready to pull out of his pin so he can make that giant explosion on him. MJ's chest, her chest glows up and she says, this is my strongest attack. All Might then powers up to as strong as possible, going for a Detroit smash. And Todoroki using basically just ice like usual. Now Izuku's the first one to land a hit as he pulls himself as hard as possible, moving so fast, slamming his feet into the Nomu's chest. The Nomu spits out blood. Yes, blood. And then MJ using her energy blast, Bakugo using his attack, Ishoto using ice, and All Might going for the strongest Detroit smash he can to the chest. The energy things on his fist blow up, literally. He has no more arms, like his arms are gone. And then this is the time where Izuku literally tears down the chest. Not tears down, he punches the chest over and over again, rendering the Nomu's pretty much useless. He can't really do nothing else. Shoto then grabs the Nomu before the Nomu dies. Not Shoto. Shigi then grabs the porter guy grabs the Nomu and says, we'll be back, All Might, and we'll kill you. As Shigi says, going through the portal with the Nomu. He leaves the rest of the guys alone. He leaves the rest of these, nobodies back, and is basically and renders them, having to leave them there so they get arrested. And then after that, you would think they have to go home for about a whole day. Yes, a whole entire day they have to go back. So they have to go back into their house for a whole day. They miss pretty much a whole day of school because of that. This is where I'm going to end the video. So please go down the link description down below. Subscribe to Grimshot and Marx Spade. Please subscribe to Marx. He made this. He made my thumbnail and my banner, and Grimshot made my intro. I know the intro is not in this video. It's only because I didn't have enough. I couldn't do. I had some technical difficulties, as you can see. So yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be updated on my daily uploads. And yeah, peace out.